So welcome back. So today we are going to learn about the chapter life processes. Okay, so let's start. So what is life processes? We should know. So our body comprises of cell, then many cells make the tissues, then tissues make the organs, and then organ system. We are organized as this. Okay, due to external factors or internal diseases or many other physiological factors, our body can break down. Okay, so there may be damage, we need maintenance. So how are this going to be happen? Okay, like a car needs maintenance, we take it to garage. Similarly, our body needs maintenance. So how we are going to do that? So here I have written it, body needs to be repaired and maintained. So here now I am going to define what is life process. So the processes that maintains or prevents the breakdown of our life. Okay, or you could say this is the NCERT definition, mark it. Okay, so the processes that together do the maintenance job inside our body are called life processes. So all those processes which regulate our body and prevent the damage and breakdown and maintains our body are the life processes. So in this chapter we are going to read about 4 life processes, that are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Nutrition is the process where we take in the food and the breaking down of food occurs. Respiration is where we get the energy. Okay, transportation is when the energy which is released is transported from head to toe. Okay, and then excretion is the when the undigested part is removed. So we are going to elaborate these 4 life processes. Okay, so let's see. First, nutrition. Okay, so now we are going to learn about nutrition. So let's start. So as I told, we need energy to prevent breakdown in our body. So then where we will get the energy? From external energy. So we need to take the food, we know. So the definition here suggests that the process to transfer a source of energy from the outside the body, from the environment, that is external, of organism which we known as food. Okay, so the process of transfer of source of energy from outside inside to our body. Okay, so this process is nutrition. Okay, so now the types is 2 types, you know, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, so autotrophic means, under autotrophic what happens, you know, chlorophyll bearing plants and some microorganisms take in the sunlight and according to the process of photosynthesis they synthesize their own food. Okay, so they break the inorganic substance into simpler forms. Okay, so synthesize their own food. Now example are green plants. Green plants because they contain chlorophyll. Okay, and blue green algae, etc. So now this is autotrophic. So the opposite is heterotrophic. That means where they directly or indirectly depends upon the autotrophs. Okay, directly or indirectly depends on autotrophs. That means they cannot synthesize their own food. Okay, some plants are also included, not only animals and fungi. Okay, so can't synthesize own food. Okay, So now heterotrophic is again divided into three types. Okay, so first is saprophytic. Another is holozoic, and the last type is parasitic. Okay, so saprophytic means who take the sap from the dead and decay materials. They take the nutrients from the dead ones. So example is fungi. And then holozoic means those organisms in which the food breakdowns inside their body. Okay, so best example is human, dog, etc. And parasitic means those organisms who live on another plant or animal and they take shelter, nutrients from the host body. Okay, example lice, cuscuta, plasmodium. Okay, so now we are going to study about each of this type. Okay, so we will start from the autotrophic part, and so we will get into the photosynthesis. Let's see what is photosynthesis and the reactions. So now nutrition in plants and the process is photosynthesis. First of all, what do you mean by photo? Photo means light. Synthesis means to prepare. Okay, so photosynthesis simply means in the presence of sunlight, the preparation of food. More precisely, we can say when CO2 and H2O are combined in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they form a type of carbohydrate in plants, which is their food. Okay, so here is simply combination of CO2 and H2O in presence of sunlight, chlorophyll to form a carbohydrate. That is, the type of carbohydrate stored in plant is starch. Okay. So now here it is simplified in the form of reaction. So CO2 plus H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll forms C6H12O6, that is glucose and oxygen. You have to always write the balanced reaction. So we will balance it. 6. So this is the balanced reaction. Okay. So now 6CO2 plus 12H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives the starch, the glucose. Okay, which is stored as starch, because all food are not going to be utilized at one time. So the excess food stored as starch. Okay. Now, what are the question asked in the board is what are the events that occur in photosynthesis? So there are three main steps. So events. First event is chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight. It captures the sun rays. Okay, which is very important. So first step is the capturing of sun rays by the chlorophyll. Okay, you should know where is chlorophyll present. Chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. Okay, present in chloroplast. So then what will happen? The second event is, after the sunlight is captured, means the light energy is now going to be converted into chemical energy here to form the glucose. Okay, so light energy converted to chemical energy. So after it is converted to chemical energy, actually what happens here, the splitting of water occurs. You have seen the reactant here, the water is present. So here actually what happens, the splitting of water, splitting of H2O. So what will be the reaction? H2O breaks, that is hydrolysis. This process is also known as hydrolysis. So H2O breaks into H2 plus O2. This O2 is released, this is the oxygen which is released in the air, which we take in. So what is remaining now? H2O. This is the byproduct here. It is released to the environment. Okay. So the last event, then what happens? Reduction. Reduction occurs of CO2. Okay, so now water is split, the water splits up to form hydrogen and oxygen. Now what happens to the CO2? Okay, what do you know by reduction? Reduction means addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Okay, so here the oxygen is removed, or we can say the hydrogen is the remaining product is the hydrogen. So this hydrogen reacts with CO2 to form glucose. So the reaction is going to be this is how we get the glucose. So these are the main three events which occur under photosynthesis. Okay. So the first is the chlorophyll captures the sunlight. Second is the light energy is converted into chemical energy, and where hydrolysis occurs and we get oxygen as the byproduct which we breathe in, and the hydrogen remain is added to CO2 which is known as reduction, and there the product is glucose, which is the food of the plant. Okay. So next we are going to study how we get how the plant gets the CO2. So now we will know how is the CO2 is obtained by the plants. So the CO2 is obtained through stomata opening. Okay. So through it the gases exchange happens. Okay, but if the stomata is open always, then there will be a lot of loss of water because of the sunlight. So the process is known as transpiration. So to prevent transpiration, there are some guard cells present. These are the guard cells. This is the stomatal aperture. So these are the guard cells. Okay. So the guards, what they do, that they swell up when the water rises up, and they open. When they open, the CO2 is taken in whenever it is needed, and when the CO2 is not needed anymore, then the water comes out and it shrinks. So it the aperture or the opening closes. So thus the CO2 cannot, there will be no more gaseous exchange. Okay, so gaseous exchange can only occur through leaf? No, it can occur through stem, roots too. Okay. So next, except carbohydrate, what are the nutrients they take? Like essential nutrients of plants. Nitrogen, okay, then iron, phosphorus in different forms. Nitrogen is taken in two forms. First, nitrates, nitrates. Okay, this is the inorganic form. And organic form is also prepared. Organic form is prepared by the microorganism. Organic form prepared by microbes from nitrogen present in atmosphere. So from the atmosphere, the microbes take the nitrogen and prepare it in such a form so that the plant can take it in. Okay. So this much for the photosynthesis. Now we are going to cover the digestion in amoeba. Okay, so let's go. सो अब तक हमने क्या देखा, फोटोसिंथेसिस. फोटोसिंथेसिस में हमने उसका रिएक्शन, डेफिनेशन, उस सब को कवर किया. उसके इवेंट्स, 3 इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स. फर्स्ट है क्लोरोफिल, लाइट को कैप्चर करता है. सेकेंड है हाइड्रोलिसिस ऑफ वाटर. थर्ड है रिडक्शन ऑफ CO2. तो हमें ग्लूकोज मिला जो स्टोर होता है स्टार की जैसे, स्टार्च. सो देन द CO2 ऑब्टेन कैसे होता है, स्टोमाटल ओपनिंग, और उसको गार्ड कौन करते हैं, गार्ड सेल्स. ओके. एंड एसेंशियल न्यूट्रिएंट्स क्या क्या होते हैं एक्सेप्ट ग्लूकोज, द नाइट्रोजन, आयरन, फॉस्फोरस एक्सेट्रा. ओके. सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू कवर द डाइजेशन इन अमोएबा. Okay, so now we are going to study the nutrition in amoeba. Okay, amoeba is single celled organism. Okay, so the food here, the food is taken by entire body. There is no organization, cells, tissue, organ system. There is nothing like that. So the food is taken by the entire surface. Okay, so first suppose here it is a food particle. This is the amoeba. Okay, so when the food if it approaches, then it starts covering by making a finger like projection. Okay, which is known as pseudopodia, false fit. Pseudopodia. So this is the pseudopodia which starts covering the food. So then in the next step what happens, it totally engulfs the food and makes a food vacuole. Okay, this is a food vacuole. This is a food vacuole. Then it slowly utilizes the food, and after a small opening breaks out and it releases the undigested particles. Okay, and then the digestion is completed. Okay, so this is very simple in amoeba. First the food approaches, then it extends its pseudopodia and covers it to make a food vacuole. Then it absorbs the food and then removes the undigested part. Okay, then the digestion completes in amoeba. Okay, now there is also a small part of paramecium. So nutrition in paramecium. It is also a single celled organism, but the difference is that it has a specific cell structure. The only difference is that it has a specific cell structure, and in case of pseudopodia it has cilia coverings all over its body. Okay, cilia present, specific structure of cell. Okay, so here what happens, at one position the food comes, then the cilia helps in the movement of food, then the same type of process occurs, but the difference is that here the cilia is present which helps in the movement of the food. Here the pseudopodia covers it to make food vacuole. Here it enters at a specific position. Amoeba has no defined shape, but paramecium has a defined shape. Now we will learn about the digestion in human, which is very important. Okay. Okay, so now let's start the most important topic, that is nutrition in animals. So that is, the process is digestion. Okay, so what is digestion? Mostly students are confused. So digestion doesn't mean that the food gives us energy. Digestion is a process of breaking down of complex substance into simpler forms. Okay, when we get the energy, that process is respiration. So don't confuse. Digestion is the breaking down of food into smaller particles. So let's start. So most of you will think that digestion starts in stomach, but digestion actually starts in the mouth itself. Okay, so in the mouth what happens, when we take a bite, Okay, it's very large, so to break it down we have teeth that does the mastication of food, means breaking down of food into smaller pieces. Okay. Masticates means breaking down. Then there is a tongue, buccal cavity, and here there is salivary glands, okay, which release saliva. Okay. Salivary gland release saliva, which in saliva has salivary amylase. Okay. Salivary amylase. What is its function? Salivary amylase actually break downs the starch into simpler forms. Okay, the carbohydrate into simpler form, into sugar. Okay, so carbs means the carbohydrate digestion starts itself in the mouth, okay, after we ingest the food. So here the amylase work, which is a catalyst, biocatalyst, okay, to form sugar. Okay. So here the carbohydrates or the starch in presence of salivary amylase forms sugar. Okay. Now that what does the tongue do? The tongue helps in mixing of food with saliva, proper mixing, and then it pushes it down to the oesophagus. Okay. So next, now it goes through the long pipe, which is known as food pipe or oesophagus. So second is food pipe. What happens here? Here there are some smooth muscles in the canal-like structure. Here are muscles present. So actually a rhythmic contraction expansion occur. Okay, rhythmic contraction and expansion occurs, which is known as peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement. Okay. So how actually it happens? So the food passes in the canal. So here it shapes like this. Then here it expands, here it contracts. Okay. And then when it passes more down, so then what happens? Here it again contracts, and here it expands, and it continues till it reaches the stomach. Here there is a sphincter. What is sphincter? Sphincter muscle is that muscle which controls the amount of food that is released into the stomach. Okay. So next we are going to learn what happens in the stomach. Okay. Okay, so now what happens in stomach? After the food passes from the food pipe into the stomach through the sphincter muscle, then stomach is a J-shaped organ. Okay. Here mainly the intermediate digestion of protein and fat occurs. Okay. So what happens here? The stomach, the walls have, the stomach here, the muscular walls, it has some gastric glands. Okay. gastric glands that releases some juices, gastric juices. Okay, so it is of three types. First is pepsin. Okay, second is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Third is mucus. So what is the function? Pepsin breaks down the protein into amino acid of protein into amino acid. Okay, HCl provides a acidic medium. So why do we need such a dangerous acid in our stomach? Because the pepsin only activates in presence of acidic medium. So HCl provides the acidic medium. After that only the pepsin can get activated to break down the protein into amino acid. And another function is that it kills the harmful microbes which come along the food. So acidic medium, okay, gives acidic medium, and another function is kills the microbes. So next is mucus. What does the mucus? There is a mucus lining here in the stomach along the wall. There is a mucus lining which protects the stomach wall from the harmful HCl. So this is a protective layer against the acid. Okay, so these are the three secretions which occurs in the stomach. After that, in the stomach the protein is break down. Okay, so next the food, here also there is a sphincter muscle that which controls the release of food. It releases small amount of food time by time. Okay, so now the food here, from here it passes to the small intestine. Okay, so let's get into small intestine. Okay, it is an extensively coiled structure present. Okay, extensively coiled. Okay, so what happens in the small intestine is also known as the site of complete digestion. You could say the major portion of digestion occurs in small intestine. So it is also known as site of complete digestion, or where the digestion actually ends. Okay, the digestion of the breaking down of carbohydrate, protein and fat. Okay, so what happens? Secretion occur from pancreas and from bile through in the liver, and this contribute with the intestinal juices to break down the nutrients. So what happens? From liver we have the gallbladder. Okay, it produces two things. One is bile juice, another is bile salt. What is the function of bile juice? Bile juice creates a alkaline medium. Here in the stomach there was an acidic medium, but we need a alkaline medium. Why? I will tell you later. So it creates a alkaline medium. And bile salt, the fat globules are very large, so it needs to be break down into smaller pieces for further action of catalyst. So the bile salt breaks down the fat into smaller globules, and this process is known as emulsification. Emulsification of fat occurs. Okay. After that the liver, here first is liver, then second the secretion occurs in pancreas. So the pancreas. The pancreas secretes the trypsin and lipase. Okay, so it secretes trypsin and lipase. Okay, trypsin and lipase. So here I have told you the alkaline medium. Why we need alkaline medium? Because trypsin here, as pepsin activates in acidic medium, similarly the trypsin gets activated in the alkaline medium, basic medium. So now what is the function of trypsin? Breaks down protein into amino acid. Amino acid. Pepsin and trypsin has similar type of work, remember, but pepsin is secreted in stomach, okay, and trypsin is secreted in pancreas under small intestine. It mixes with the intestinal juice, okay. So and lipase, you see the word LIP means lipid means fat, okay. So that simply means it breaks down the fat globules which are already emulsified by the bile salt, okay. So the fats are broken down into fatty acid plus glycerol. So what we get now, the carbohydrate and all other things are now simplified. So let's see what happens next in large intestine and how the digestion occurs. So what we learned now, the complete site of digestion is the small intestine, okay. So what the final products what we get, the complex carbohydrate breakdown into glucose, protein into amino acids and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. So now we will learn about the absorption. Digestion is completed, but now the nutrients need to be absorbed into the blood vessels to reach the essential parts. So absorption occurs with help of brush border like projection, small projection, finger like projection called villi, okay. So it is like the layer will be like this. So here there will be projections like this, finger like projections, okay, in the wall. So what happens, what is the advantage of having villi? There will be greater surface area for absorption. So there will be easy absorption, and from here the blood vessels are connected, so the nutrients get absorbed easily. Also on this brush border like appearance, they also have some small projection over this villi also, which are known as microvilli, okay. Okay, so what is the function of villi? It helps in absorption of the nutrients into the blood, okay, and the advantage is the greater surface area, it provides greater surface area, okay. So now after that, the waste or the which is not digested, undigested parts, they move to large intestine. Here also it is controlled by a sphincter muscle which releases the undigested part. The next is large intestine. Here also some absorption occurs. What is that? Here H2O, excess water, salts are absorbed which are needed, okay, and it is absorbed in the large intestine. There is also some microvilli are present, okay, which helps in water absorption. So here the assimilation occurs, the intake, and after that here the assimilation occurs. Here the absorption occur, okay. So the last part is the egestion, okay, which occurs through anus. Here also there is an anal sphincter which releases when needed, okay. So excretes the waste and which undigested. Okay, one thing you should remember, there is an exception in the case of small intestine, that is, after this you should remember this, small intestine is longer in herbivores than carnivores. It is more longer herbivores than carnivores. Why? Because herbivores eat grass and grass contains cellulose, which is takes more time to get digest. Okay, because grass contain cellulose, which take more time to digest. Okay, so this is an exceptional point of small intestine. So this much we read about all about the digestion in animals. Okay, so next I am going to show you a flow chart, simple flow chart, and I will quickly recap what we have learned. Okay. Okay, so now till now what we learned, the digestion in animals. So these are the main 5 steps that occur in human. First is ingestion. That is, when we take in the food, here only the digestion starts. That is, the carbohydrate break into sugar. Okay, complex get into simpler forms. Okay, so now it passes through the esophagus and reaches the stomach. So there the digestion or the breaking down of food starts. Okay, here the protein is synthesized. Okay, I mean the protein is break down by pepsin. Okay, so then it passes next to the small intestine. Small intestine, which is the complete digestion site. Okay, here the protein and fat all gets break down completely. Okay, so next occurs absorption, that is done by the villi. Okay, which is present in small intestine and also some in large intestine. Okay, so it gets, then the assimilation means when these nutrients are utilized, okay, by the cells take it to the required parts. Okay, so then egestion means the removal of the undigested waste. So these are the main 5 steps which occur in a human. You have to write the chemical reaction, the important points about each juice, and you have to draw a neat and clean diagram. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope you like it. And next I am going to cover the respiration in animals and plants. Thank you.